Hello and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. Some of my viewers are law students, and occasionally I get asked for law school tips. And so I'm going to give you my top tip here, but to do so, I'm going to start with a story to explain it. Now, at the time, I was taking a course called Legal Research and Writing, and this is a really important course. It teaches you how to get answers to legal questions, and then how to communicate them effectively, whether to colleagues, clients, or the courts. So really important stuff. However, our prof also decided that we needed to know how to look stuff up in the old sort of bound volumes. And the problem with this is that nobody uses those bound volumes anymore. Everything is done with computer searches in databases because it's more effective, it's faster, it provides better client value. There's really no reason to look at these books. It's like teaching medical students how to diagnose illnesses by reading chicken entrails. There's just no point to it. But our prof decided that this was going to be an entire class worth of discussion. And my attention deficit brain recognized that this was not useful to me and shut down. I could not tell you a single word that was spoken in that particular session of that class. I just was in daydream mode. I blanked out entirely. So imagine my horror when we get our first assignment and it's entirely go look stuff up in these bound books and tell us the exact thing that it comes back with. So it's designed so that you can't just use the much more effective online searches. You have to actually show the specific thing that you found in the bound book. Again, I have never in my career used one of those bound books. None of my colleagues who graduated at the same time as me have done so, at least so far as I know. When I ask people, nobody does this. So this is not useful knowledge, but it was the assignment. So I go off to the library and I'm pulling these books out, and they're not really sensibly organized. This isn't sort of a matter of just like check the index and then go to the page. There's this complicated lookup process, and they make research in them really obnoxious. And I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm not having a good time because I am freaking out. I'm worried that I'm going to just bomb this course, which is, of course, mandatory. And so if I fail it, I have to take it again. And, I am completely not grasping how this book's arcane lookup system works. I am just in misery. And then as I'm sitting there just having basically the worst day of my law school experience, a classmate comes up and says, "Hey, you look like you're having a rough time." Now, keep in mind, most things in law school are graded on a curve. So to a certain extent, you're kind of competing with your colleagues, although not really. But you hear all this stuff about law students being competitive and trying to undermine each other. But instead, what she said is, "Hey, let me help you. Let me sort of walk you through it." And she didn't give me the answers, but she explained how the book works. And because of her explanations, and again, didn't give me a single answer, none of what she was talking about was related to the question. It was just, here's how this how this works. And so because of that, I was able to do the assignment. I got the assignment in, I got a decent grade on it, and I passed my legal research and writing course. Now, I can tell you, when I think of students from law school who impressed me, she is the only person on that list. I don't remember the people who were acting smart in class, raising their hand with the answers. I don't remember, any of those details. What I remember is this person who, she had literally no reason to come up and help me other than just she could see that I was struggling. That's who I remember. And ultimately, as a result of that, because I remember her quite fondly, and I haven't sort of cleared with her if I've got permission to use her name, I'll check with her before I put this live, or I'll try to. And if I can get permission, if I can manage to get in touch with her before I throw this live, I'll put her name in the description so that you can, maybe if you need help, she's a person to call. But I have at several points, tried to send business her way. When people come to me and they say, "Hey, can you take my file?" and I can't because maybe there's a conflict, she's a name that I will send people to. And it's because I know she's a caring person as well as a very diligent person, and that matters. So My top piece of advice for law school is be kind. Be a decent person, because everyone, is going to forget who the star of the sports, whatever was, or, who the person who raised their hand in class. I mean, that isn't to say don't work hard and don't sort of, if you can get the gold medal, go ahead and do that. But the people who really made an impression on me are, it was out of kindness. And the flip side of that is that if you ever decide to use your effort to be cruel to somebody, they may remember that for potentially forever. And, that may have costs and impacts that you don't expect at this point. And so, whenever you can, be kind. That's really the moral of the story on this one. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this one has helped you out. I hope that there's someone out there who follows this advice, because quite frankly, there's not enough kindness in the modern world. So please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to see more content, especially if you're a law student, share it with your friends, leave a comment. And I also want to thank my Patreon supporters at the $50 level, Canada's National Firearms Association, the CCFR, and the Canadian Shooting Sports Association. At the $30 level, Sights and Arms Limited. And at the $20 level, Mark, Jane Babin Luxor, Haywire, Dale Nesbitt, Cameron Johnson, Andrew Elsich, and Vicky. Thank you for watching. I hope this has armed you with knowledge. See you next time.